Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early December 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Libras in early December? We're in the back end of 2025. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra in early December. What's the vibe? What's the energy for my good friends? Please. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. This is very water sign-like energy to me. It's super dreamy. It's very imaginative, and I usually like this. I do. I mean, unless you're in your brain a little too much, but I usually think that the layers that this card puts forth are really nice and has a lot of potential moving forward. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this beautiful dreamscape-esque type of vibe going on. We have the lady in the purple dress. She has a mask on. There's hot air balloons. There's a lot of nonsensical things happening here. Super etheric and creative. Now, in the good sense, this is, as already mentioned, imaginative and creative. Now is a great time for hobbies and self-expression and just letting your mind soar. I don't want to be too over the top with my explanations, but I think you get what I mean. Any form of self-expression is highly favored because you have a lot of creative thinking available to you in this time when this card is here. Even if you're going through some problems and situations, to me, it's like I can think outside of the box and figure this out. Now, I did mention dreams, so make sure you're paying attention to what you're seeing in the dream state, because spirit might be trying to send you signals, that send you little glimpses and flashes in your dreams here. Or unless you're having issues sleeping or there's something going on with sleep, this card can also represent that. The only downside to this, and there's a lot of upside with the creativity, is the overthinking, right? And I mean, that's an air sign thing. A lot of air signs are very considerate individuals, and you like to see things from a lot of perspectives. This one can think a little too much, if that makes sense. So watch out for that. We're going to let her chill over there, though. She could keep having her dream adventure. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Libras. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Karmic Situation. Now, to me, that is a very in-depth topic, right? Karmic energy alone, that you could write books about that. But karmic situations, sometimes they teach us lessons. Sometimes it's things that we need to experience. Sometimes it's situations that aren't complete. And I was getting shades of all of that in last week's reading. So that energy could bleed over, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my lovely Libras to start us off. What do we got for Libra here? Thank you. Okay. So two opposing energies came out, because one is quite down. We have the 5 of Pentacles, position number 1. We're not going to get freaked out about it, right? It just is what it is. And then we have the Fool, totally opposite in the way it presents itself. Let's get one more. Unless you're connected to an Aries, let's get one more, which is very possible. Okay. So we have some conflicted feelings here. That's initially what I'm seeing. And it could be anything. Again, it could be work. It could be various things. You have a lot of fire energy around you this week as well. You also have a bonus, which is the 7 of Wands. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, at least elementally, this is energy you could work with. As a Libra, you're an air sign. You work well with fire energy, and we have a lot of it, right? We have the Fool, the Two of Wands, the Seven of Wands as the bonus, and fire is the action realm. So it's the actions we take, it's the actions we want to take, it's the actions other people take in the physical world. It's not just like a pipe dream or a thought. It represents passion, drive, desire, that internal engine within us that pushes us forward. There's a lot of good things about fire, but fire element can also be very unpredictable. It could be very hot and cold. Like it could be very intense and very low. So there could be a lot of things that are, varying intensity where it's like full go, full stop. It's like not a lot of balance, which is usually rough for Libras. Then we have the earthy energy in the front, which does ground it down a little bit. Earth can represent money, home, family, finances, career, school, stuff like that. Home, like play. It's the world we live in. So it's like we have the actions that we and other people take, and the board that we play on. So it's an intriguing mixture. The only thing with Pentacle energy, sometimes you can feel stuck. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, and keep in mind, this doesn't have to be your energy. It could just be someone you're connected to. I just want to say it again, because we have the Five of Pentacles right here. And as you can see, it is one of the more challenging cards. It is a number 5 card, so it could represent change, transformation, all that kind of stuff. Fives, and especially repeating fives, are very similar to towers. But you see these two people, they're thrown out in the cold. Now, this could be little warnings about finances, work, and money. So watch the spending. I shouldn't be saying that around this time of year, right? Everyone should be watching the spending. But the Five of Pentacles, when we're talking more on an emotional level, there's a longing there. There's a missing of someone potentially. There's a solitude as well. So watch out for feelings like this. And again, it could be someone else might be missing, or there's like this solitude type of feeling that I'm longing for something. It's like coming through to me as like an ache of some sort. Now, the good thing about the Five of Pentacles is that it is only temporary. Even though it's Earth, fives are transitional, right? It's an energy where it's like, all right, it's not permanent. Don't worry about it. Like the current situation is not the final destination. That's the silver lining I always attach to this card. So I think it's okay to start there, but we go to the complete total opposite as we move on to the next card. And we'll get this tucked in by the amethyst. Maybe it'll make those people feel better with the nice crystal vibes. Now, in the middle, we have the Fool card, and this is a really compatible energy in Libra readings. It represents Aries, that's your zodiacal twin. They're right across from you in the zodiac. Different personalities, but both uh, act towards similar things, right? Like they're both cardinal signs, they're both action signs. So there's similarities and big differences. It's like a yin yang. So this is a completion type of energy, whereas this one right there is solitude, lonely, missing. This one is happy go lucky. It's feeling jovial. It's feeling happy and lighthearted. So you see, we have the two totally different vibes here. Now, whether this is energy that's coming in, because the Fool card does represent a fresh, new perspective. It represents action. It represents movement. So maybe there is a shift coming up, and we'll look into it further. But I generally like it. The only downside to the Fool card is that sometimes it could be a little too, I don't want to say ambitious, but it could be a risk taker. It could be an energy that doesn't always think things through, and it acts before it thinks. So watch out for things like that. Urges, temptations, that's a big thing. Very spontaneous energy in the challenge of the Fool. But aside from that, it's like super lighthearted, fun, having a good time. So the complete total opposite of what we have here. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Two of Wands. Very intriguing card. Now, all twos in tarot represent partnerships. They can represent decisions and choices. Specifically, this one, this person is kind of standing at a crossroads where it's like, all right, well, which path do I take? Do I take this path? Do I take that path? Which road am I going to walk down? There could be a lot of decision or analysis going on when this card is here. And this is one of my biggest cards of strategy and planning. So whether Spirit's telling you, like, all right, Libra, for the road ahead, maybe you need to plan it out, or maybe someone you're connected to is in the works with something. Very possible that someone's planning something here. And I was seeing this in the Gemini reading as well, like the strategy. Moving to your bonus super quick before we get into the clarifiers, we have the Seven of Wands. The good thing, it's determined, it's moving forward, its mind is set on something, and it will not quit. There's a beautiful energy to that. But at the same time, the downside, it could be very combative. It could feel like I'm doing something that is very difficult. I'm doing something that is not easy. I'm doing something that I don't want to do. This can also represent feeling trapped or cornered in its rough sense. So we definitely have some stuff to look at this week, Libra. And with all the shift and the transition and the fire, like the energy's moving in a direction, but I want to see which. So let's dive deeper. I want to jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my lovely Libras. What's happening, my guides and spirit team? What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Five of Pentacles. Let's see what this situation's about. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Five of Pentacles here? Okay. Oof. Okay. I mean, remember earlier in the reading I was mentioning the double fives? All right, so watch out for situations that might be harder than you thought. Watch out for problems that pop up where it's like, oh, this shouldn't be a problem, or this should be easier than it is. Why is this still happening? It's like giving me that kind of vibe here. The double fives, of course, always give me that tower-like, shocking type of energy, the changing energy. So I do see energy shifting. So for a lot of you, especially those of you that are going through some difficult times right now, think of it as applying pressure to coal to make a diamond. That's how it feels. There could be certain things that you're experiencing and going through right now that are forging you and forming you into your next form, which I think is really nice. But it's not easy. That's the thing. The Five of Swords could be very aggressive. It could be mean. Whereas one person might be very down and sad and longing and missing. Another person could be pissed off and mad and angry. It could be a mixture of both. Like these energies are not the nicest, but on an intuitive sense, there could be a problem or a situation that I would take seriously, but it feels like it's more difficult than I thought it would be, or it's more difficult than it should be. So watch out for biting off more than you can chew, or at least somebody's feeling like that. Like there could be this little lingering regret as well, where it's like, did I do the right thing? Did I bite off more than I can chew? Can I handle this? Like there's this little doubt that I'm picking up in the front. So again, it's problematic. Of course, it's something that should be taken seriously, but we're going to keep moving. It is what it is. It's transitional again. So remember, if you're going, those of you that are going through difficult times, it's forging you into a new version. So let's see what's up with the Fool. Let's see what's up with the Fool card, please. And yeah, I really want to get to the Two of Wands as well. So why's the Fool here, please? And there's the change, there's the shift. Remember very early on when we were looking at the Oracle card, I was speaking about figuring things out in a creative way, a non-traditional way, thinking outside of the box. And right now there's tons of that energy available to the Libra collective. So I'm not sure what everyone's going through. Some of you might be totally cool and fine for all I know. If this is somebody else that you're tapping into or that's showing up this week, someone you're connected to, they're either going to get creative to get out of their funk or they're going to have to. The energy of change is here and it's fiery, it's fast, it's intense. Like when I have the Fool moving forward with the big Aries type of action, and the Hierophant in reverse is more tower like type of energy. So whether this is shocking action, shocking change, we have a lot of cards here that evoke tower energy to me, like the double fives. Now, usually this card is very sturdy, solid, stable, traditional. It is what it is. Power structures. It's something that's set in stone. When it shows up in reverse, it is the total opposite of that. It's something there's upheaval. So to me, either this is like an explosive, shocking change of some sort, or it's someone taking action. Where it's like, okay, remember I said pressure, pressure. Then we have the action coming in. That's just how it feels. So we're going to keep going. There's someone making a move, that's for sure. Let's see what the Two of Wands has. Because remember, this one could be very spontaneous. So it also still fits in with that out of nowhere, shocking, explosive type of vibe. This one could be more methodical. So let's see which road feels better. Because I don't know how to feel about this energy in the center. I don't know how to feel about it, which is odd. Usually I do. So why is the Two of Wands here? Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. I mean, if I'm feeling that way, maybe some of you are dealing with things where it's like, I don't really know what to feel. I mean, not sure how I feel. I might feel all the ways. Let's see what's up with the two. Let's see what's up with the two, please. Two. Now the deck is being specific. There we go. Thank you. Okay, I mean, tons of Aries energy this week, Libra. And sometimes I'll see little sprinklings of it in your reading. This week it's just like overwhelming Aries energy all over the place. So we have the Emperor in the upright underneath this Two of Wands. This energy does feel a little bit more restrictive, but not necessarily in a bad way. It's like someone bringing structure. So like if these are two people working in conjunction, that's a great thing. Where it's like this energy is a little more flowy, a little more loose, a little more go with the flow. This one is a little more structured. And when they combine approaches, they get the optimal. So there could be certain things where spirit's like, maybe you need a blended approach to figure out what you're going through. Maybe you need a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now, aside from the Emperor representing Aries, he's an authority figure, right? Divine masculine counterpart to one of your cards, the Empress. So when I see him, I think of structure. I think of planning, just like the Two of Wands, where it's like, no, we're going to do it this way, and this way. So whether spirit's telling you to make a plan and stick to it, or I don't feel like this is advice technically, it just feels like structure. So there could be various things where you might just need to put some structure in place. I still think there's a blended approach where you could think outside of the box, but also structure it. I know I'm getting very specific, but just take it for what it's worth here, my friends. If that's not you, when I say the Two of Wands and Emperor, it is most definitely somebody planning something. And with all the action we see in the front, it could be someone that maybe they don't want to just pop up out of the blue. Maybe they don't want to act wild or anything like that. Maybe they're trying to tone it back. Like that's another vibe. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. So we're getting some very specific stuff there, especially on the back. Lots of action energy, lots of changing energy. Position number one, we have the Five of Pentacles with the Five of Swords in the upright. So yeah, this does feel a little bit problematic to me. So whether it's a problem you're experiencing or somebody else, there's a little bit of everything. I did say this could be someone biting off more than they can chew, or something being a little more difficult than they had envisioned. So watch out what you sign up for in this time. There could be something that you've been dealing with for a while where it's like, all right, well, why am I still dealing with this? Moving to the center, we have the Fool with the Hierophant in reverse underneath it. There's the change, the shocking change, or the explosive action, whatever labels we want to put in on it. It's like the pressure builds and then the action happens. So whether it's actions you're taking or somebody else, the energy does shift in a very powerful way. This feels a little loosey-goosey, more spontaneous to me, where someone doesn't think it through fully. So watch out for urges and temptation. But this back end brings a nice structure to the overall energy. We have the Two of Wands with the Emperor in the upright. So again, tons of Aries energy. So whether spirit's telling you to take a more methodical approach or blend of the two, think outside of the box. It's like blend multiple approaches to get the optimal result. Or this person is a specialist of some kind. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Libra, please? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What do we got for Libra? Thank you. Hey, there's your card. We got Lady Justice in the shadows. Nice. So if you're tied to another Libra, their energy's showing up. Now, normally when I get the signifier card for the sign I'm reading for, I always predict that as a good thing. But remember, we're seeing this in the shadows. In the positive sense, justice in a Libra reading is very much empowering and balanced and, getting its bearings. So for a lot of you, you might be doing better than you think you are with something. So don't be hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself when I see this in the shadows, first and foremost. But just watch out for confidence issues or self-deprecation. Be nice to yourself. Okay, very important. And I feel like that's the main message I'm picking up for you in the shadow card this week. Be kind to yourself. You're doing better than you think you are, most likely. Either that or you're super confident, right? I mean, it could be a little bit of both. Who knows? But I think this is an okay shadow card. So we're going to put it down right there, Libra. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like further clarification on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My December schedule is live right now, and the spots go quick, so go check it out, see what's available if you want to have a chat with me. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks for all skill levels, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you resonate with most? When you see it in a reading, it's like, yeah, that's me. Put your answer in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.